Hey guys, welcome back to the Happy Man Coaching channel, where we talk all about life, love, and relationship, all while we're on our journey back to our true self. I'm your guide and Happy Man Coach, Charlie McKeever, and today I want to talk to you about needs versus wants. So let's jump into it. What are needs versus wants? Let's define what they are. Let's talk about who's responsible for them, and let's talk about how they affect our relationships. Needs are something that we can't do without. In fact, we're not okay if we don't have them. A good example of this is oxygen or air. If you don't have air, then you die. Well, that's a need. It's something that falls under the classification of not being okay without it, and it's something that we need, that we have plenty of, but it's still a need. A want is something that we desire. It's something that we would like to have. It's something that's important to us. It's something that's a priority. Maybe it's something, a way that we want to live, something that we want to experience, but it's a want. The problem is, a lot of times what we do is we turn wants into needs. We turn our preferences into something that we think that we won't be okay if we don't have. And this is where we get in trouble from a relationship standpoint, because we want a intimate, connected, loving relationship with our wife or girlfriend, and that's not a need. It's something that we desire deeply, but it's something that we have to understand the difference between a want and a need, because if we turn this into a need and we require it from the other person, then what happens is we become dependent. We become powerless. We feel powerless. We feel like we won't be okay, like we'll die if we don't have this thing that we want, because we've turned it into a need. But the reality is we won't die. That will be okay. And in fact, we are okay even when we don't feel like we're okay. A lot of times what's happening is we're feeling our thoughts. We're having a thought. That thought is producing a feeling. It shows up in our body as some sort of physiological response, whether that's a queasy stomach or tension in the shoulders or just an overall sense of not being okay. That feels like a need, but it's not. It's not a need, it's a want, it's a desire. And here's the thing about wants and desires. We can want them. It's okay to want them. It's okay to have desires. What we want to do is make sure that we're providing for our own wants, that we're taking care of our own wants and not depending on someone else, not being dependent on somebody else, and not feeling powerless if that other person doesn't want to participate. So here's a great example of a want. Let's say, again, I want an intimate, connected, loving relationship. Well, this isn't something that I can write down on a piece of paper and slide across the table to my partner and say, you need to give this to me, right? This is something that I need from you. What we have to do is decide for ourselves if that's a priority for us, and if it is, then we need to go first. We need to be intimate, we need to be connected, and we need to be loving, and we invite that other person to join us. So this is really playing into the concept of lead yourself first and invite the other person to join you. That way, it's not a situation where you're powerless. It's not a situation where you're dependent. You're actually saying, this is what I want. This is who I plan to be. And then you invite that other person into that. You share it with them. And if they decide they want to participate, great. If they decide they don't want to participate, great. Because in the end, we really only want to be in a relationship with someone who wants to be in a relationship with us. And if they share the same values, if they want the same things, if we're headed in the same direction, then fantastic. If we're not, great, that's good to know. Let's go our separate ways. Let's head in different directions. Let's pursue what's important to us separately. That's fine. No harm, no foul. It doesn't mean that it's not disappointing. It doesn't mean that those things don't hurt when when we have those experiences of breakup and separation and divorce, it just means that we want to get to know as quickly as possible. We want to know the reality of what's going on as quickly as possible. And so by owning our wants, going first, and then inviting that person in to join us is the best way that we can lead ourselves and that other person to a different version of the relationship. That different version might be walking together in the same direction, wanting the same things, and it may mean a separation and a walking in different directions. That's fine too. Needs, wants, desires. What are they? Whose responsibility is it to provide for them? And then how does it affect our relationship? And we've covered that in this video. So if you have any questions, you have any problem understanding this, and if there's something that specific that you want to talk about, leave it in the comments. Let's talk about it, or you can direct message me. You can also contact me through Happy Man Coaching. Go over to happymancoaching.com. I've got a contact form there. You can reach out, we can have a conversation, and we can talk specifically, and we can talk privately about what's going on with you. As we go into the weekend, I want you to consider these things. Think about what's the difference between your wants and your needs, and have you turned your preferences into needs, and have you made someone else in your life responsible for that? And is that making you feel powerless? Is it making you feel dependent? And is it making you feel like you're not okay? Because if it is, then you have that opportunity, you have the chance, you have the right and the responsibility to take that back for yourself and decide for yourself what it is that you want in life. All right, brother, have a great weekend. I'll talk to you soon. I love you. Bye.